Hey all, it's been a while since I've done a review because for me there's nothing to review. um, I haven't bought one diecast so far this whole year. March, no February, January, February, March. It was the only one that I bought. But this one's actually quite significant because it was part of a series that has since been discontinued, but it'll be fun to look back if I get the chance to acquire them. But anyways, welcome to the review. I think this is my fourth open wheel car dive review on this channel, to be exact. But this isn't related to Formula One or any the Formula series. In fact, this is one of the last champ cars to be released before the series merged with IndyCar for the rest of 2008. This one's quite significant because it has the defending series champion at the time, 2008. This is the Sebastién Bourdais McDonald's car. It's a Panoz DP-01, by the way, for Newman-Haas Racing. I can't recall anyone reviewing this thing. I haven't done research for it, but I do know that this is the 2007 livery, although it does say 2008 on the plastic shell, which I will show in just a bit. But this car is quite detailed, given that this is a 1/64 scale die cast from GreenLight Collectibles. Of course, got the rubber tires as per usual. A pretty good casting, which is kind of a stark contrast compared to the IndyCars in the same period of 2008 when they just reused the Johnny Lightning casting. Actually, before we get to the car, I'll show you the blister in a bit. So here's the blister. So I bought this at Shopee for about there we go. I bought this at Shopee for half of I was expected to buy this guy for. It's not, I don't know if it's that noticeable on the camera, but in person, this package basically just yellowed. Like, really yellow. But not bad as sunburnt yellow. It's still pretty good packaging nonetheless. Bought this for 350 pesos from another seller. So it's about $5-6. I can't. Is it $5-6? Okay, I might have to check after recording, but this is the back of the package for Series 3. Yeah, this is Series 3 for 2014. If it wants to focus, there we go. So this is what you get for Series 3 in 2014. Born Ager in the 970 Camaro. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. I think that is supposed to be a Camaro. I'm pretty sure that is a Transam Camaro in the SBRA. That might be it, but special edition for the complete the 6-car set. Of course, we got the 2008 Champ car, which is of course it's the Panoz DP-01 without the Panoz license. Driver Sebastién Bourdais, of course. But that's all for the blister. Before I forget to mention, it says 2008 Champion on the plastic shell. Now, there's a reason why it's called 2008 Champion. Okay, so let me set up the current bit. Okay, so why is it called 2008 Champion? Even though it only raced for the two races in 2008. Well, this casting was introduced back in 2007 ahead of the DP-01's debut for Champ Tour, which ended up being the final full year for the Champ Tour World Series presented by Ford. In 2008, the year 2008 is kind of technically correct, but at the same time, it feels kind of what's the word for it? A misnomer. Because it only raced for the final two races of the Champ Tour World Series in 2008 before it merged with IndyCar for the rest of the year. Oh yeah, by the way, final two races were very close, but St. Petersburg in Florida, and Long Beach in California. That's the last two circuits that Champa raced in before it went to being merged with IndyCar. So this is technically a reuse livery for the final two races of the series. I don't know if there's any changes at all from the 2007 livery to the final two, the St. Pete Long Beach duo marathon, the final two races of 2000 series. I might have to check after this video's up, but but without further ado, let's get to the review. Let's go for a bit. Hold on. Okay, I grabbed a couple of tutorials on the side, which I'll show in just a bit compared with the DP-01. But let's get to the review, shall we? Of course, McDonald's had a huge question from Newman-Haas Racing's like peak period before they went down to 2009. Unfortunately, when Paul Newman had passed. Anyways, let's get to the front wing. Of course, you got the classic red and yellow, the mustard yellow, the McDonald's Bears. So you get to the front wing. Of course, you got the golden arch on both sides of the. What's this? All the front wing flap and the green. Nice on the front wing, and of course, on the base of the front wing, you got the McDonald's typeface. Nothing else on the. Never mind. I was mistaken. There's the golden arches on both sides of the end plate. Very F1-esque. F1-esque. Of course, Champ Car World Series initially started as an oval series, and then later in the years, it just became an exclusively road course series. Whereas IndyCar, they both road course and oval. So fun. So it's a neat little fact for you who still don't know the Champ Car World Series. I'll talk about more Champ Car stuff if I get more Champ Car stuff. Of course, we get to the nose cone. Also, on the pillars of the front wing, you can see the nose. Of course, you got the phrase "I'm loving it" on both sides of the front on the nose cone. Speaking of the nose cone, let's get to the top of the nose cone, shall we? You can't read it because it's so tiny, but that should be the Panoz logo with a blue square. Of course, you got Bridgestone and Bosch. Bridgestone is the tire supplier for the Champion World Series since early 2000s. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who knows the World Series. So we get further up to the safeties, the nose cone. We got Cosworth, who supplied the engines, and I believe they also supplied the steering wheels for them at that time of the season. And for the DP-01, of course, McDonald's and the Golden Arch just above it, and of course number 1 because he is the defending champion 2007. In 2007, so you get to the safety cell. Let me put it wide in front of me. I can't see it because I don't have. Hold on, actually. Let me. I got lighting in, but you can't see it because it's blocked by this suspension structure. But you can pinpoint so a little bit of the golden arch. Many of these are tiny. I can't even tell what. I do know that there might be some place in there. I think they're blurry though because of how tiny these have to be printed. Of course, these cars do not have large boards, so thank God. That's on the underside of the car. Yeah, you can still see the McDonald's logo. That's still fairly noticeable. I can't zoom in further because that's the most. But I do know this. I think that's Roche, France. This camera doesn't want to focus. Whatever. Uh, yeah, this camera. Yeah, this phone can't focus too well enough when it's up close. As we get to the side pods, then let's get those phones first. Side pod, then, because you get this massive flap, kind of very reminiscent of Formula One of the period. Of course, you got the golden arches on top of the side pod, metal typeface on both sides of the side pod. Of course, on top, just before, of course, you got birchstone on top of the radiator vent, top of the vent, where the radiators go. You got the roll bar hoop with the onboard camera. The onboard camera, you can tell the Champion World Series logo. I'm surprised they still have the license for Champion at this point. Of course, you got the French flag for Bourdais. The French flag, I think, does it have its name in it? I can't recall if it had its name. Yeah, it should. Yeah, I can see the name once up close. Of course, you got the onboard camera. It's red. Not to no one's surprise. Of course, as you get right on the engine cover, you got Cosworth and Bosch. And there's a Dasani logo. I didn't realize there was a Dasani logo on the engine cover. Wow, that was new. And on the rear wing, of course, you got the golden arch on the top and the McDonald's typeface right where the DRs will be nowadays. Of course, it's the flap. And in the end plates, you got Bridgestone McDonald's #1. Also, why does this diffuser have red? Oh, it's on both sides of the diffuser, okay. And it's the same as the Weft, of course. Of course, red side diffuser. Red diffusers on the side only. Nothing painted right on the rest of the diffuser because they don't add too much weight. Also, I just realized on the inside of the underforce of the I want to focus. Let me pull it forward. Okay. Of course, you got the supports for the DP-01 at this period. Although like, extremely tiny on the 1/64 scale release. They're much more obvious on the 118s. Although you can't find any 118s at all because I'm in Asia. You should be able to tell what the supplies are in a 118 scale release. But I do know that the Sun is on the engine cover for some reason. When did Newman-Haas have a deal with the Sun at this point? I genuinely have no idea. But that's the car. Of course, River tires, Bridgestone. There's Bridgestone tire printing. Very similar to F1 as well. Before they pulled out. F1, of course. Of course, you got the two rivets to hold the front wing on the other tray as well. Because you got some Venturi effect with the undertray of the car, although it's not as detailed as the 118 like I said before. Where you can see the diffusers right here. Of course, it does say 2008 Champer, but it does say 164 DP-01 without Panoz. Because Panoz is the constructor of the car. Can't say 2008, so this is right before Champer went merged with IndyCar. Of course, 2008 Champer user permission from Panoz and IndyCar at this point. I'm guessing they're licensing with Indy for permission to use the DP-01. You got the product code 407, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 of these. Of course, it says 164 DP-01, GreenLight 2008 made in China. This is where they're produced in Dongguan in Guangdong, next to Macau, the border to Macau. And of course, you got the production code right before the diffusers. GreenLight 038, so I'm guessing the 38th week of 2013. I'm guessing this 38th week of 2013. yeah, that's the car. But we're not done with the review just yet. We're gonna compare it with the Turo 026 from the 996 season in the hands of Mika Solo. In comparison, I don't have any F2000 F1 cars, so I'm gonna try to get an F1 car from this season to compare with the DP-01. But for now, I'm gonna use the DL26 as a comparison point. You can tell that the DP-01, let me catching. You can tell the DP-01 is long. It's been young. Basically, when you couple with F1 car of the period, same period, you can see how elongated the DP-01 is compared to the Turo. Of course, wider tires. Also, this is the 996 German Grand Prix version because it's got the neat little contraction to increase down. Once it's focused, to increase downforce. I have that review up in the channel at the moment, so check out the video in the description below if you want to see that cringy video. Of course, it's got thinner tires because it's Hockenheim in the 1990s. It was a high-speed circuit at the time. You can tell how different the front wings are, kind of, but on the side part, on the but the aim points there are quite obvious. Of course, more downforce, which means more air deflected to the car. And then I've gone just a bit wider than the old one, than the 990s regs at the time. Tell the suspension, you can't see it because of the German Grand Prix spec contraption, but you can tell that the suspension structure is actually quite different for strengthening purpose, for safety purposes. There's a much wider side pod area. It's more like a cocoa bottle shaped look rather than the Turo, which is kind of can be unconventional, but still got the cocoa bottle shape. All the cuts up right here, and then this is where the there's no actually no, there's no bottle shape. It just cuts up right here. Of course, wider cockpit. Of course, the cockpit area is more or less the same. Of course, F1 does have engine covers, but in this form, they do. Tank car does, but it's a lot more widely in because of the period and the roll bar hoop. Because the rear wing on the DP-01 is a lot larger than the 026. Wow, look how tiny the 990s rear wings are. They're pretty cute. But they're a lot bulky in the DP-01. I'm pretty sure the same applies to the F1 because the same time frame. In of course, the diffusers are pretty much similar to F1 cars, the period as well. Also, I just realized that the pit white is right where the rear wing is put, rather than being right here, than where the F1 cars are. It's in the exact same place nowadays. Yeah, you can see how much the DP-01 contrasts compares to the German Grand Prix spec A26. Yeah, lengthwise it's basically the same as the F1 cars in the period. In the midway 2000s. So at first there aren't as the DP-01's longer. Yeah, the DP-01's a lot long. It's a bit longer than the Turo. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Newman-Haas DP-01. I'm gonna try to scout for more DP-01s, hopefully, but unfortunately, it'll be much hard to scout because I'm in Asia, and Motorsport is not as well known as it used to be nowadays. Back in the day, So be a, it's actually quite rare to be a whisper fan in the Philippines. Yeah, that's it for the DP-01 review. See you then for the next review. If I do acquire anything at all,